Let's talk a little bit. I don't want to skip around too much, but if you could give some sense of how those large projects were organized. You were not the project director
No,
either time.
no, I was not. This was really an interesting arrangement because Gaby and Cheetah set that up. I mean, I think originally it was Cheetah, and then Gaby came in, and Gaby was very good, and she could interview. She had some broad knowledge of state government. She was, I think, a League of Women Voters woman.
Another
too.
League of Women Voters
That's
woman.
right. And Gaby was a sort of no-nonsense person. So together.
Cheetah was project director and
Yeah, she was.
Gaby project coordinator.
Coordinator. That was a good
She
title.
must have made things happen.
She did. They had this second room, as I call it, where they set
The little room in the back.
in the back. They set up a bank of files. It was probably about the size of about this, maybe from the wall to this picture. Or
I remember it as about 4 file cabinets,
all from almost
maybe 4 doors high, 3 to 4
least
doors
all
high.
the way, and everything in it pertained to the government. Now, when I interviewed, for example, I was interviewing the women political leaders. If Elizabeth Gaytop, for example, would have talked as she did about Governor Brown, because she knew him well, in some other aspects, or any of the other women did, or anybody else I was interviewing, or I just made a note of that, put it in the file to Governor Brown. So we agreed that anything that we were doing that pertained to any of these people who were being interviewed or the problems of the state at any time, we would put that into the file so that we could always go to the file and find more information. It was a beautifully organized set. And I remember putting things into the file, and I think they put things into the file that I used. It was very good. When it came to water, of course, most of that was just stayed in my drawer.
Right.
But they were very good together. I think they were the ones who decided what people I would interview that had to do with water policy, maybe public health, but and at the time we were still doing women political leaders, and so I asked Gaby to do some, and she also knew some people, so we had to arrange. There were many women done in the women political leaders. I did some, Gaby did some, I think Mimi Stein did some, and these were all decided by, maybe we all decided it together.
Was there a smooth interaction between the people?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think things went smoothly?
I think because we were all capable women who could work on our own, who understood the issues, and sometimes when we didn't understand them, particularly when it came to suffragists, I didn't know anything much about the suffrage movement. I had to learn a lot about that from Cheetah, so that when I went to interview Jeanette Rankin, I had some background. Even Jeanette Rankin was sort of what we'd call in these days an outlier in that area of suffrage movement. But I learned a lot. When it came to water, I was pretty much on my own, but there was so much available